Hey everyone.
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 Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Hey everyone.
Bachelorette stars trans hoax isn't just pointless, it's also weird, says everyone's favourite source of LGBTQIA plus news, Pink News. You know, that's a fair point. Now do Dylan Mulvaney.
These are the days, these are the days, these are the days of girlhood.
Hey everyone. So I just wanted to hop on here and clear the air on some things. Look. Just because trans women may have a different biology than other women, may have a different brain chemistry than other women, and just because we may present more male at times because we were assigned male at birth, and just because we may deal with issues that only males deal with, in no way means we're men or we're somehow not women.
Josh Seiter, formerly of The Bachelorette, came out like 5 or 6 months ago as comically trans. And I mean comically trans. And he's just revealed to Alex Stein that it was all a social experiment. Here's a bit of what Josh has been up to for the last 5 or 6 months.
Hey everyone! So I want to talk today about the elephant in the room that women don't like talking about, but we all think about: having a bulge. Hey everyone! So I got my cat Ollie here, this emotional support vest. But he hasn't been liking it, and it's really disappointing because I really thought I was gonna have an ally in this journey.
Hey everyone. I'm so sorry. I'm really struggling right now. Oh, you guys know that I'm attracted to women, and that's usually who I date. And what I didn't expect with this transition is now that I'm a woman, that means I'm gay. Hey everyone! So I have some really good news to share with you guys. I'm so happy, so relieved. I just got done with a really great session with my therapist, and I'm not gay.
You know what? I reckon Pink News got it right, as far as the headline goes anyway. This is in fact weird. I mean, the actual article's fucked, we'll get into that. But come on, this bloke came out and said, oh, I'm a woman. Put on a few dresses, acted a bit fruity for 5 or 6 months, then came out and said, oh, I'm actually a dude. Like, yeah, no shit. Of course you're a dude. You are always a dude. I think the real social experiment here isn't seeing how many people would fall for him saying he's a woman, but gauging how many people would inexplicably get so fucking furious when he came out after 5 or 6 months and stated the obvious. Anyway, here's Josh revealing all to Alex Stein.
For the last 5 months, I've been conducting a social experiment online to expose how gullible and how delusional the left is.
Now, I think the reason that certain people are pissed off at him is because he followed all the rules. There's no way of telling the difference between what he did and what other trans people are doing. There's just no way. He's shown how illogical the extreme side of this ideology is. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying trans people are bad people. I know how some people are going to mix up what I'm saying. The point here is that if you don't have to have gender dysphoria, and if you don't do anything tangible like surgery or like hormone treatment, that sort of stuff, then there's literally no difference between a trans person and a man pretending to be a trans person. Here's Josh explaining it, probably a bit better than I did.
I said, let's look at the medical literature and what it says. It says that trans people don't have to transition, don't have to have gender dysphoria, don't have to get surgery, and don't have to get hormones. If they feel they are a different gender than their bio-sex, then they are trans and they are valid. And I said, understandably, this is ridiculous. Then I can present exactly how I am, and I can be trans and valid if I say that's my gender identity. And so I said, let me prove how ridiculous this is using reductio ad absurdum by being trans for 5-6 months, and hopefully people will understand then how ridiculous this is.
Well, yeah, he's demonstrated how ridiculous this is, for the wider population anyway. But as you'd expect, there are those on the margins that just don't see it that way. Josh Seiter is a pile of shit with a pulse. He doesn't understand or empathise with the trans community, and he certainly doesn't speak for them. He's a hate monger and a bigot. Josh Seiter proves that he and the right are still a bunch of fucking asshole losers with nothing better to do than troll society in an experiment. These people are a stain on our world. Fuck Josh Seiter, a trash person who used our community for clout. Josh Seiter, you are a monstrous c***. You mock the struggle of trans folk for sheer enjoyment. And of what? Clicks? I have seldom been this mad at a stranger. I hope I never have the immense misfortune of meeting you. Fuck you. Josh Seiter is a real piece of shit. He mocked trans people for 5 months, and the end result of his grand social experiment is that, gasp, liberals were nice and attempted to be understanding of him? You are a disgrace of a human being, making a mockery out of a community that already faces so many attacks daily. Shame on you, and I hope you get what karma brings you. You vile piece of garbage. All Josh has done here is point out the absurdity of simply being able to say, I'm a woman, and having society treat you that way. You don't just automatically get those privileges. You don't get to compete in women's sports. You don't get to go in women's spaces. You don't get to do these things just because you have a feeling. See, the way I see it, there's 3 types of trans women. There's blokes with gender dysphoria, and that's a serious mental condition. They should seek help and some sort of remedy. Now, if that remedy is living their lives as a woman, dressing like a woman, being called a woman's name, then great. Power to you. I've got no issue with that. I actually sympathise with that. But it doesn't change the fact that you're a bloke with gender dysphoria. Then there's the clout chasers, the attention seekers. They're pretty self-explanatory. They do it for the clicks, they do it for the social credit, they do it to try and fit in, to get popular, to make money, all of the above. Then there's the autogynephiles. And in Josh's estimation, a lot of trans women are autogynephiles. And even he says you're quite free to be that. But you're not free to change and manipulate other people's realities.
Autogynephilia is when men are turned on at the thought of themselves being women. And I think a lot of trans women are turned on at the thought of themselves being women. Guess what? It doesn't magically make them women. It doesn't mean we have to accept that they're women. They are simply men turned on at the thought of themselves being women. That's great. We live in a free country. You can do whatever you want, but don't make your fetish my truth.
Anyway, I feel like I've gotten sidetracked. We were meant to be reading that Pink News article because it makes no sense. And I feel like it's a good representation of the rage being expressed about this thing. Bachelorette star Josh Seiter has revealed that he faked coming out as trans earlier this year. Not only is this hoax an offensive and strange attempt to apparently try to get one over on LGBTQ+ people and their supporters, but it's a pointless one too. The Bachelorette star revealed during an episode of Blaze TV's Primetime with Alex Stein on Tuesday the 15th of October that his recent posts claiming to be transgender were in fact a social experiment to expose woke culture and an attempt to own the libs and gullible and delusional leftists. Wow, good job, Josh. All you proved without a shadow of a doubt is that your average woke lefty liberal accepts people as they are, subsequently leaves them alone, and doesn't spend countless waking hours scrutinising strangers' identities on the internet. What a slam dunk. Let's just ignore the fact that it was historically right-wing Republicans that reported on your foe coming out without scrutinising your social media posts, and conservative trolls posting hate in your comments for months. The real question on the tip of my, and I'm sure several other people's tongues, is why? Seiter spent months posting a total of 131 Instagram posts and 108 reels to convince people he was trans. And for what? To convince people that queer folk accept anyone? Yes, that's what he did it for. To show people that queer folk, or the more extreme among queer folk, accept anyone and will try and force a warped reality onto people on the mere say-so of any confused individual. And he proved his point. He did a good job. Cope and seethe. The issue is that bigotry has no tangible end goal. Wanting groups of people with an innate quality to stop existing is impossible. So those who believe they can ramp up the outlandishness of their efforts to prove that it somehow is possible. As for Seiter, his apparent view that trans people choose to be transgender, they can't and don't, means that he thinks it is perfectly valid to scrutinise those who do, and as a result, anyone who bought into his charade is gullible or delusional. What he's missing in all this is that trans people owe him nothing. Neither do their friends, allies, or family who choose to stay in their lives and support them. Seiter's warped standards for what it means to be a woman, cis or trans, means nothing. They're worse than nothing. They are the acts of a desperate man clutching to any fleeting piece of fame or attention he can possibly grasp. The result of this is that anyone not caught in the furor of this right-wing nonsense is simply concerned by Seiter's actions. Posts on the Bachelorette subreddit are filled with people telling Seiter to go to therapy, or questioning why he hates trans people so much. Oh, he hates trans people. He doesn't want them them to exist. Is anyone else getting sick of these fucking talking points? Just because we scrutinise something doesn't mean we're calling for a fucking genocide. It's such a pearl clutch. And Reddit? Oh my god, Reddit has opinions? Whatever will I do? And did you catch where they mentioned Seiter's warped standards for what it means to be a woman? My god, these people can talk. They have a crack at his standards while outlining none of their own. But bearing gender's a social construct. Yeah, sure, okay. And most of society reckons if you got a doodle, you're a bloke. Oh, but bearing gender's on a spectrum, if you like, but so's colour. And we all know what fucking blue is. Just like we all know what a bloke is. Look, at the end of the day, be whatever you want as long as you're not hurting anyone or trying to force anyone's beliefs. I think what Josh was getting at here is that society is moving in a direction where self-ID is everything. And there seems to be this growing encroachment on our beliefs. I mean, how quickly can someone get cancelled for being transphobic these days? Pretty fucking quickly. And what is transphobic? Well, increasingly, it's simply disagreeing with someone on the definition of woman. Anyway, I'll leave it there. What do you think? Let me know in the comments or at my Twitter, at bear_ing. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Ta-ta. Bye-bye.
Recession, session. Give me better times, give me better times. Recession, session.